Hi guys, what up y'all? Not sure about the lighting in this room, but whatever, we'll just go with that. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few months, I guess, you'll be aware that the Oscars were last night, the 83rd Annual Academy Awards, either last night or this morning, depending what time zone you live in. But anyways, I just thought I'd go through this, the event, and just sort of give what I wanted to win, what won, what the nominees were, all this shit, what happened during the night, just all stuff like that. Anyways, the first award, or the first two awards, were presented by Tom Hanks. The first was Achievement in Art Direction. The nominees were Alice in Wonderland, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Inception, The King's Speech and True Grit. The winner was Alice in Wonderland. Now, if it was to win one award, I think it would have gone to art direction, because Tim Burton has his, unique style. The film is, very, very colourful, heavy in CGI. But, yeah, like I said, it was very Tim Burton. I just got notes. I'm just reading off notes. The film was, very Tim Burton-esque. The sets were great. But, like I said, a lot of it was CGI, so whatever. The next was Achievement in Cinematography. We had Black Swan, Inception, The King's Speech, The Social Network and True Grit. The winner was Inception. Now, I'm sort of glad Inception won. Personally, I thought the cinematography for True Grit was better. True Grit won the BAFTA for Best Cinematography, and I thought it would have gone to True Grit, but Inception, my favourite film of the last year, I'm glad it won, sort of. Then we had Kirk Douglas presented Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Now, I love Spartacus, okay, I love other Kirk Douglas films. I love the, Stanley Kubrick, the film, I'm not going to say the name because it's too long, but that film, How I Learned to Love the Bomb, whatever. Anyways, Kirk Douglas came out. The nominees were Amy Adams for The Fighter, Helena Bonham Carter for The King's Speech, Jackie Weaver for Animal Kingdom, Melissa Leo for The Fighter, and Hailee Steinfeld for True Grit. Even though Hailee Steinfeld should have been nominated for Best Actress, but apparently she was too young to be nominated for Best Actress. So yeah, the winner was Melissa Leo for The Fighter. Now, she played the mother in the film, Dickie and Mickey's mother. Honestly, watching the film though, I never thought the performance was great. I think she got overshadowed by Christian Bale, who was, he was the best thing in the film. And I love the film, but Christian Bale's performance was great. I'll get to that later on. But, the second time I watched The Fighter, I'll have to really look out for a performance, because I'm not sure it was Oscar worthy. I personally wanted Hailee Steinfeld to win. I love True Grit. But, I honestly thought that it would have gone to Helena Bonham Carter. She won the BAFTA. The King's Speech, I thought, would just, swipe through the Oscars as it did with the BAFTAs. But yeah, on the other side, second page, we then had Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. She came out to present the Best Animated Short and Best Animated Feature. The nominees for Best Animated Short were Day and Night, The Gruffalo, Let's Pollute, The Lost Thing, and some foreign Madagascar short. I missed the name of it. And the winner was The Lost Thing. Now, the only one of these I've seen is Day and Night, which was at the start of, Toy Story 3, and I thought it was very well done, but I haven't seen the others, so I'm not sure how they stand compared to The Lost Thing. But whatever, it won. There we go. Then Justin and Mila also presented the award for Best Animated Feature. They were How to Train Your Dragon, The Illusionist and Toy Story 3. Only 3 films nominated. But the winner was obviously Toy Story 3. I can't imagine it going to any of the others. I've never seen any of the others. I've only seen Toy Story 3 out of those. The Illusionist, it looks really interesting, classic 2D hand-drawn animation, and I'm in an animation course, so I'll need to check that one out. And How to Train Your Dragon, it was also meant to be really good. I should have saw it in cinema when it was in 3D. But whatever, yeah, Toy Story 3 won. I'm glad it won. I wanted it to win. Then there was one more note. I'll write this down. How amusing are some of America's adverts? Because I was watching it online, like live streaming of it, and there was like an American car advert for like Hyundai or something. I'm not even sure if that's American, but the advert was American, and it had Jeff Bridges narrating over it. Jeff Bridges on an advert. I just love that. We don't get that in the UK. But yeah, anyways, after the breaks, there was breaks throughout the whole fucking thing. I'm not going to go into it. Josh Brolin and Javier Bardem, who were both in No Country for Old Men, they came out and presented Best Adapted Screenplay. These were 127 Hours, The Social Network, Toy Story 3, True Grit, and Winter's Bone. The winner was The Social Network. Now, I think Aaron Sorkin did a bloody good job with this film. I think it should have won, to be honest. I'm glad it won because I love The Social Network. I also wanted True Grit to win. It's not considered a remake of the John Wayne film. It's more like another adaptation of the novel. I forget the author. But Toy Story 3, I don't see how that was nominated, because it wasn't really based on a book. It was just a sequel to the first two films. And even though it was, obviously based on the same characters, it shouldn't have got nominated for that, I don't think. But anyways, we then have Javier and Josh present the best... I didn't write it down. Shit. The nominees were Another Year, The Fighter, Inception, The Kids Are Alright, and The King's Speech. The winner was The King's Speech. I don't even know what they won it for. I didn't write it down. I wrote down here that I wanted Inception to win. I think this is for best... Yeah, it's best original screenplay. I just remembered then. Sorry. I wanted Inception to win because it took Christopher Nolan 8 years to write. 8 years, and that really does show, because everything's so compact. Every line of the film, adds to the storyline. It's just so complex. But The King's Speech won. I don't know. We then had a singing performance by Anne Hathaway. I mean, it was about Hugh Jackman saying like she loves him and all that shit. Yeah, I just thought it was a bit too weird, because this is the Oscars and not like a Royal Variety performance. I mean, she's a good singer and she's hot, but come on, get on with it. And also James Franco was, also hosting. He came out dressed as a woman. Yeah. We then had Russell Brand and Helen Mirren, who I didn't know spoke French. Anyways, she presented Best Foreign Language Film. They were Beautiful with Javier Bardem. I believe it's a Mexican or Spanish film. Dogtooth, In a Better World, Incendies. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. It's a French film. Correct me, Paul. And Outside the Law. The winner was In a Better World. I've never seen them, so let's move on. Reese Witherspoon then came out and presented Best Supporting Actor. We had Christian Bale for The Fighter, John Hawkes for Winter's Bone, Jeremy Renner for The Town, Mark Ruffalo for The Kids Are Alright, and Jeffrey Rush for The King's Speech. The winner was Christian Bale. There is a God. I wanted him to win so much. Surprisingly, it's his first Oscar nomination. I thought that, he'd been nominated before for, I don't know, The Prestige or something. But no, this was actually his first nomination and he won it, which I'm so glad about. Jeremy Renner in The Town, I think he should have been nominated for a BAFTA instead of Pete Postlethwaite. I've got nothing against Pete Postlethwaite. He died earlier this year, which is a real shame. But he had like 5 minutes of screen time. Jeremy Renner, at least he was throughout the whole film, and his performance was just great throughout it. Who else we got? Mark Ruffalo, I'm not really sure about. I haven't seen The Kids Are Alright, but Jeffrey Rush, he won the BAFTA, I believe, for Best Supporting Actor. I honestly thought that he would win, and when Reese Witherspoon just said Christian Bale's name, I was like, thank you. We then had Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman present Best Original Score, and there was a live performance of the Star Wars and E.T. soundtrack, which was really cool. Nominees are How to Train Your Dragon, The King's Speech, The Social Network, 127 Hours, and Inception. The winner was The Social Network. Really? The composers, whatever, writers, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Really? Better than Hans Zimmer for Inception. Oh, fuck that. I was a bit pissed off, actually. Also, Clint Mansell, who did the soundtrack for, you know, a bunch of Darren Aronofsky films, can't get my words out, he should have been nominated for this, I believe, for Black Swan, and if he did, I would probably want him to win. But the Clint Mansell essentially remade or recreated, I don't know what the correct term is, we're writing, but he remade the Swan Lake soundtrack, which sounds amazing, but you know, obviously it cuts out that category because it's not original. We then had Scarlett Johansson and Matthew McConaughey presented Achievement in Sound. The nominees were Inception, The King's Speech, Salt, The Social Network, and True Grit. The winner was Inception. Now, personally, I think the original score should have gone to Inception, but, you know, Achievement in Sound, you know, better than nothing, I guess. We then had Scarlett and Matthew again presented sound editing. There were Inception, Toy Story 3, Tron Legacy, True Grit, and Unstoppable. The winner was Inception. Repeat what I just said. We then had Cate Blanchett. She came out to present Achievement in Makeup. There were only 3 nominees. There were Barney's Version, The Way Back, and The Wolfman. The winner, it was pretty obvious. If you've seen all 3 films, which I personally haven't, I haven't seen Barney's Version, but I've seen, you know, the makeup from the film, and I think it was obvious that The Wolfman was going to win. You know, Rick Baker, who did the practical effects, prosthetics for American Werewolf in London, he comes here and does the same with The Wolfman. Although you might not consider it to be a great film, I love it because, you know, I've applied for a special effects course in TV and film, which I'll, you know, be starting September. So it's great that, you know, there's actually a category like this in the, you know, Academy Awards, and I'm glad The Wolfman won. We then had Cate Blanchett again goes through the nominees for costume design. There were The King's Speech, The Tempest, Alice in Wonderland, True Grit, and I Am Love. The winner was Alice in Wonderland. Like I said earlier, you know, I think this film deserved to win in this category. The costumes were just so crazy, I'll say, for lack of a better term. Honestly though, True Grit, I'm not sure about. I think the costumes were great, they were well made, they looked great, but that's the thing, they looked too clean. Like they come straight out of the cleaners, you know, because obviously when, you know, Matt Damon and Jeff Bridges, they go on this adventure, the suits that they're wearing are so clean that it doesn't really fit in. It's like they're just making a film. It doesn't feel real. But anyways, Kevin Spacey then came out and presented the best original song. Well, he didn't really, because that was later in the evening, but there were 4 live performances at this point in the evening. There were 2. These were the song from Toy Story 3, We Belong Together, and the song from Tangled, I See the Light, and the female singer was hot as shit. Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal then came out to present Best Documentary Short. There were Killing in the Name, Poster Girl, Strangers No More, Sun Come, I'm not sure if that's it. Oh yeah, Sun Come Up. The Warriors of Qigang, or Chigang I think it's pronounced, and the winner was Strangers No More. I've never seen any of these. I wanted Killing in the Name for the simple fact that it's the title to a Rage Against the Machine song. Amy and Jake then presented a documentary for live action short. I've fucked up this video, haven't I? The nominees were The Confession, The Crush, God of Love, Nawewe, and Wish 143. The winner was God of Love. Oh, fuck. Yeah, some coked up Afro lanky guy came out to collect the award. It was pretty amusing. Um, the Oprah Winfrey then came out to present it Best Documentary Feature. We had Exit Through the Gift Shop, Gaslight, Inside Job, Restrepo and Wasteland. The winner was Inside Job, which was about the economic crisis of last year or 2 years ago. I'm not even sure. I don't keep up with politics and all that shit. I personally wanted Exit Through the Gift Shop. I've never seen it, but it's about Banksy, and if you go to an art college like I do, you will know who Banksy is. You know, the graffiti artist, and it was a documentary basically following him around the life of graffiti art sort of thing. It looked pretty interesting actually. What's this? What have we got here? Oh yeah, Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, you know, Sherlock Holmes and Watson, they came out to present Best Visual Effects. They were Alice in Wonderland, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Hereafter, Inception and Iron Man 2. The winner was Inception. Glad Inception won. I mean, the closed Paris up on itself. If you've seen the film, that's just amazing. But I want to mention Hereafter. Really, I've never seen the film, but I've seen trailers for it. The CGI looks shit. I'll be frank with you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say the CGI didn't look great. No, the CGI looked shit. But then we had Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. They presented the best film editing. They were Black Swan, The Fighter, The King's Speech, The Social Network, and 127 Hours. The winner was Social Network. I would have gone for 127 hours. They used the split screen technique, 3 videos playing at once. Very tough editing. They used time lapse videos, just everything, real inventive camera techniques. But the Social Network, I never really saw it. It was more for writing than editing, to be honest. But it won writing, so yeah. We then have Jennifer Hudson presented. Oh no, she came out to present 2 more songs. These were If I Rise from 127 Hours, which was sung by Florence Welch, from the Florence and the Machine. I believe it was sung by Dido for the actual film, but I don't know if they couldn't get Dido for it or... Well, Florence Welch, she did a good song filling in. And we then had Gwyneth Paltrow sings for Country Song, and she's surprisingly a very good singer. I believe the name of the song was Coming Home. I think Country Strong will be sort of a female version of Crazy Heart. I don't know, I've never seen it. It's not actually released here in the UK yet, but I'll probably need to check it out. I liked Crazy Heart. The winner was Toy Story 3. I was real happy, real optimistic song. I'm glad it won. I'm not sure who the singer was. I just neglected to write that down. There was then a very depressing segment going through all the people who died in the last year and 3 months. Very depressing. From the song from Toy Story 3 up to that, it was just... We then had Halle Berry. She then came out and paid tribute to Lena Horne. Yeah. Not even sure who she is. I should know, I'm into film, but I don't know. We then had Hilary Swank. She came out to introduce last year's winner for Best Director, the first female to win the award for Best Director. The nominees are David O. Russell, Tom Hooper, Darren Aronofsky, David Fincher and the Coen Brothers. The winner was Tom Hooper for The King's Speech. I was thinking that it would be David Fincher, in all honesty, but I'm bringing Inception into this again. Why the hell was Christopher Nolan left out of the nominees? Why wasn't he even mentioned? He didn't even get nominated, and if he did get nominated, I think he should have won. I'd wanted him to win, but part of me also wanted David Fincher to win. I believe he won the BAFTA for the same, award. Also, Darren Aronofsky, there was tough competition. I love the Coen Brothers, I love True Grit, but I think Darren Aronofsky, he also had a big chance to walk away with it. David O. Russell for The Fighter, he did a good job. But yeah, I personally wanted David Fincher to win, but honestly, out of all the people through the whole year, I wanted Christopher Nolan to win. Whatever. To present Best Actress, the dude himself, Jeff Bridges, came out. The nominees for this were Annette Bening for The Kids Are All Right, Nicole Kidman for Rabbit Hole, Jennifer Lawrence for Winter's Bone, Natalie Portman for The Black Swan, and Michelle Williams for Blue Valentine. The winner, no competition really, Natalie Portman. Her role in that was amazing, as was her performance. Everyone involved in that film was great. I'll review it in the next video. And I know a lot of y'all like get on with the Oscars. No, I need to give a cheap plug to my other videos. Alright, it's my channel. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Alright. Yeah, Natalie Portman. She practiced ballet for about a year. You know, to perfect ballet, and that really shows in the film. She did a great job. She's pregnant. Just a little thing there, anyways. Oh yeah, and she has a lesbian sex scene. How the hell could I forget about that? Yeah, that's one reason to see it. Go see this film for the lesbian sex scene, or you can see it online because I watched it last night. Alright, yeah, when she walked away with the award, Jeff Bridges, you know, obviously walked off with her, and he kept looking down a skirt. It was pretty amusing, very dude-like. I think it was the way she was walking off with the award though, because she had it like that and she was walking away. Sorry about that, guys. My mum walked in. I wanted to do this in one take, but you know, she just interrupted me, so we'll have to start that again. Yeah, when Natalie Portman was walking away, the funny thing is Jeff Bridges kept looking down the dress. I think it was the way she was holding the Oscar. You know, she had it up here and she was walking away, and Jeff Bridges kept looking over her shoulder. It was just pretty, you know, very dude-like. We then had the nominees for Best Actor. They were presented by last year's winner for Best Actress, Sandra Bullock. The nominees were Javier Bardem for Beautiful, Jeff Bridges for True Grit, Jesse Eisenberg for The Social Network, Colin Firth for The King's Speech, and James Franco for 127 Hours. The winner was Javier Bardem for Beautiful. I'm only joking, it was Colin Firth for The King's Speech. It was obviously going to be Colin Firth. I mean, as much as Natalie Portman was going to win for Black Swan, Colin Firth was going to win for The King's Speech. He didn't win it last year for A Single Man. This was really his year, you know. If you don't know by now, The King's Speech just swept through the Oscars. I haven't actually seen The King's Speech. I'll definitely need to see it now. But, you know, from what I've seen, you know, I've seen bits of the film and his performance in it looked great. I personally wanted Jeff Bridges though. I mean, I'm not sure if he gave a better performance. I haven't seen The King's Speech, like I said. But the reason being is because it would be the first time in the Oscars where two different actors would win the same award for the same role. Now, I know a lot of y'all will be like, wait a minute. Okay, what about Godfather? Godfather and Godfather Part 2, Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro. Well, The Godfather was Marlon Brando's film, which is why he won Best Actor. Robert De Niro, he played the same part in sort of the prequel side to The Godfather 2, but he won Best Supporting Actor. Two different awards. That's the reason why I wanted Jeff Bridges to win, just because, you know, it's Jeff Bridges as well, you know, it's the dude. Last stretch here, I know a lot will be like, just get on with it. Then, Steven Spielberg, you know, he needs no introduction. Steven Spielberg. He came out to present Best Film of 2010. The nominees were The King's Speech, The Social Network, Fighter, Black Swan, 127 Hours, Inception, The Kids Are All Right, Winter's Bone, True Grit, and Toy Story 3. Now, the winner was The King's Speech. Yay! Now, I'll definitely need to see this film. It was nominated for 12 Academy Awards, and I suppose I'll have to go and see it now. I'll just go through the other nominees. You know, The Social Network, I had a feeling that would win. I think that was the second favourite to win. It was a great film, you know, my third favourite film of last year that I've seen. The Fighter, I love that film. Personally, I love that film, one of my favourite boxing films. Again, I'll review that in the next video, cheap plug again. Black Swan, I love that film as well, as much as The Fighter. Actually, I loved it even more. I'd love to have seen The Black Swan win. We then had 127 Hours, which, as much as I loved and I reviewed in the last video, excuse me, I don't think it would have won. I wanted Inception to win. And I think when Steven Spielberg came out and he opened the envelope, you just wanted him to say the King's Speech. You wanted to get it over with because you know that the King's Speech is going to win. You know Inception doesn't stand a chance. And I think the main reason is because in the Academy's eyes, Inception is old news. Because it's considered a summer blockbuster and was released like halfway through last year. The King's Speech is only recent, so that's what people are still talking about. You know, it's still in theatres here in the UK. And yeah, I wanted Inception to win. It's just, when I look back on the year of 2010, the film which I'm going to remember is Inception. You know, if you've seen my favourite films of 2010, Inception was number one. Toy Story 3, which, you know, it wouldn't be nice because it would be the first feature film, or first animated film, sorry, to win Best Feature Film, which I think would say a lot to Pixar. But True Grit is, again, you know, I'd love to have seen that. I'd love to see Jeff Bridges and the Coen Brothers, Josh Brolin, Matt Damon. I'm not even sure if he was there. I didn't see him in the crowd, but all of them just stood there. I think it'd be really cool. And Winter's Bone and The Kids Were Alright, I think they were sort of underdogs. They wouldn't get one. I think the directors and actors are just so glad they actually got nominated and got picked up by the Oscars. But I think The Kids Were Alright is the type of film, I've never personally seen it, where, you know, people, the Academy will jerk off to it, but the audience don't really pick up on it. The audience don't really like it. But yeah, that was basically my brief overview of the 2011 83rd annual Academy Awards show. You know, it was a great night, or if like me, great morning. The reason why I'm tired is because it was live. It was being streamed on like Oscar.com or watchoscaronline.com or something, and I believe it was on at like 8 o'clock in America. Due to all the time zones and shit, it wasn't actually live until 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, so I have to just drag myself out of bed and crawl to the laptop, crawl to the computer and just, you know, turn it on and watch it. Which is why I look a bit tired and sound a bit tired. I apologise. And you know what just tops it off? I have to go to college now. Yeah, I've got the morning off, but now it's like dinner time, so I'm gonna have to go in, and I'm gonna get a haircut as well. So, see y'all later. Yonk.